been almost 20 years since we first revved up a chainsaw lancer and dove behind cover to fight the Locust horde. Now the game that defined cover shooters is making a comeback, and in a way we've never seen before. Gears of War Reloaded is on the horizon, launching August 26, 2025, and it's bringing the fight to PlayStation for the very first time. That's right, Gears on PlayStation. In this video, we're breaking down everything we know so far about Gears of War Reloaded, from what this remake keeps from the 2006 classic to all the new additions that make it the definitive edition of the game that started it all. Gears of War Reloaded is described as a celebration of one of gaming's most iconic franchises. It's essentially a full remaster of the original Gears of War, first released in 2006, rebuilt to look and play great on today's hardware. The Coalition, the studio behind recent Gears games, is co-developing it with Sumo Digital and Disbelief, ensuring the classic gameplay remains faithfully preserved while modernizing the experience. Longtime fans will be happy to hear that Reloaded stays true to the story, characters, and core gameplay of the original. You'll once again step into the boots of Marcus Phoenix, leading Delta Squad, Dom, Cole, Baird, and the rest of the crew through those same harrowing encounters against General Ram and the Locust Horde in the depths of Planet Zera. The campaign story and level design are unchanged. This is the same gritty, white-knuckle fight for humanity's survival, just presented in a new coat of paint. All the iconic moments, from the eerie Tomb of Unknowns fight to that final train showdown with Ram, are intact and ready to give you nostalgia goosebumps. In short, Reloaded keeps everything that made the original game a legend, from the cover-to-cover combat mechanics to the over-the-top chainsaw kills, and even the split-screen co-op fun. It's Gears just as you remember it, but better.
So what's new in Gears of War Reloaded? First off, the graphics and performance have received a huge upgrade. Reloaded has been re-engineered for modern platforms to look and feel incredible. We're talking 4K resolution visuals and vastly improved textures and lighting. You can literally see the details on Marcus's armor and every ugly wrinkle on a Locust drone's face now. The game runs at a silky 60 frames per second in the campaign, making every gunfight and active reload super smooth. And if you're into multiplayer, brace yourself. Versus modes will support up to 120 FPS for ultra-responsive action. On top of that, it supports modern tech like HDR lighting for richer colors and contrast, Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos for immersive audio, and even 7.1 surround sound with 3D spatial audio. Trust me, when a berserker roars behind you, you're going to feel it in your gut with that spatial audio. They've also implemented VRR support to eliminate screen tearing, and something called super resolution anti-aliasing for crisper details. The bottom line, the game that blew our minds in 2006 is going to look absolutely stunning in 2025. From the war-torn cityscapes to the creepy underground caves, everything is more detailed and atmospheric. Perhaps one of the coolest new technical upgrades, no more loading screens in the campaign. Yes, you heard that right. Thanks to the power of modern SSDs and optimization, Gears Reloaded lets you play through the story seamlessly without those old loading breaks between chapters. You'll go from one act to the next without interruption, keeping you fully immersed in the action. That's a huge quality of life improvement over the original game's flow.
The cinematics and audio have also been enhanced. All the cutscenes have been remastered with better visuals. Ultimate Edition did this back in 2015, and Reloaded builds on that. The voice acting and story dialogue remain the originals. So you'll hear John DiMaggio's classic gruff Marcus voice, but now paired with cleaner sound quality and that new surround mix. The game's famous soundtrack and the bleak, war-torn atmosphere should hit even harder with the new audio tech. It's the same emotional, gritty journey, just presented in a way that feels brand new.
Welcome back to the army, soldier.
Gears of War Reloaded isn't just about pretty graphics. It also brings gameplay improvements for modern sensibilities. One big addition is refined controls. New players can opt for a modernized control scheme that's more in line with current shooters, while series veterans can stick with the classic controls they remember and love. That means if you're used to newer Gears games or other shooters, you'll feel right at home. But if you have that muscle memory from 2006, the game has you covered too. For example, Reloaded likely carries over enhancements from the 2015 Ultimate Edition, like the ability to spot enemies and switch weapons while roadie running. It basically keeps the gameplay design faithful to the original, but with some quality of life tweaks so it plays more smoothly today. Movement and aiming will feel a bit tighter and more responsive at 60 FPS. And things like the cover system and roadie run should benefit from the higher frame rates. They've also confirmed that all the content from Gears of War Ultimate Edition, the previous remaster, is included here from day one. That means you're getting the bonus campaign chapter that was originally only on PC, where Marcus and Don fight their way through a Locust-infested refinery to take down a Brumac. An awesome extra mission. You're also getting every multiplayer map ever released for Gears 1, including the maps that were DLC and the ones that were PC exclusive. And all the multiplayer modes introduced in Ultimate Edition are back as well. Team Deathmatch? It's in. King of the Hill? In. Even the special 2v2 Nashers Only mode that fans created is included. In short, Reloaded is the most content-rich version of Gears 1 ever. From the get-go, you'll have access to every map, mode, and more characters/skins than originally, without any additional cost or unlock packs. And speaking of characters and skins, Reloaded brings a full roster of classic characters and cosmetics to unlock through gameplay. Remember unlocking Ram or Min or those gold weapon skins? All of that is in here. In fact, the devs have said you get immediate access to all the post-launch DLC content from Ultimate Edition included in Reloaded. So there's no waiting or paying for extra map packs or skins. It's all part of the package. Truly definitive. It's refreshing to see in an era of microtransactions. Everything is earned through play, not pay.
Now let's talk multiplayer. Gears has always been known for its intense versus mode, and Reloaded is set to deliver the ultimate multiplayer experience for Gears fans. Versus multiplayer in Reloaded supports up to 8 players, which means the classic 4v4 team setup. All the classic modes are available, from Execution and Warzone, the round-based elimination modes that started it all, to King of the Hill and Team Deathmatch for a more modern flavour. The game runs up to 120 frames per second in multiplayer, as I mentioned, aiming for super smooth, responsive controls which are critical in Gears competitive play. And yes, 2-player co-op for the campaign is fully supported, both online and split-screen local. So if you want to relive the story with a buddy on the couch or team up online with a friend across the country, Reloaded has you covered. Perhaps the biggest new multiplayer feature is cross-play. For the first time in Gears history, everyone can play together, no matter their platform. This is huge. It means the player base won't be split up and you can fight alongside or against anyone, whether they're on console or computer. The developers emphasize that you and your friends can squad up regardless of where you play, so there's no barriers. And notably, Reloaded does not require a Microsoft account on PlayStation or Steam for you to use crossplay. You can just hop in and matchmaking will throw everyone together. However, if you do sign in with a Microsoft account, it unlocks full cross-progression across platforms. That means your campaign saves and multiplayer progression carry over between, say, your Xbox and PC or your PS5. So you can start playing on one platform and continue on another without losing any progress. It also enables you to directly invite friends across platforms, like an Xbox player inviting a PlayStation friend to their lobby, which is super cool. But again, the important part is Reloaded makes it easy to play together with or without that account linking. Crossplay has already been tested in the game's public beta, which ran over 2 weekends in June 2025. The beta featured modes like Team Deathmatch, King of the Hill, and Warzone, and was open to players who pre-ordered or had Game Pass Ultimate on PC or Xbox. According to early feedback, the crossplay worked seamlessly and people were thrilled to finally unite the Gears community across platforms. This should give Reloaded a healthy multiplayer population and longevity, since no one is left out of the fight because of the system they own.
Let's emphasize that point. Gears of War Reloaded is launching on Xbox consoles, Windows PC including Steam, and PlayStation 5. This marks the franchise's debut on PlayStation ever. Historically, Gears has been an Xbox exclusive series, so seeing Marcus Phoenix on a PlayStation platform is kind of surreal, but it opens up Gears to an entirely new audience. If you've never owned an Xbox and thus never experienced Gears, now you finally can on PS5. And the developers have made sure the game feels great on each system. In fact, there are platform-specific enhancements to take advantage of whatever hardware you're on. On PC, for example, Reloaded supports ultra-wide monitors, has an in-game benchmark, and even supports the latest upscaling tech like AMD FSR 3.1 and NVIDIA DLSS 3.5 for those who want to push frames to the max. On Xbox Series XS, it's an Xbox Play Anywhere title, meaning you can buy it once and play on console or PC with shared progress. And on PlayStation 5, they've confirmed that the game will make use of the DualSense controller's haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, so when you fire the Lancer or Chainsaw through a Locust, you'll feel that distinct resistance and vibration, a nice touch for PS5 players. The PS5 version also supports the built-in controller speaker, perhaps for radio chatter or the iconic active reload ching sound. Essentially, no matter where you play, you're getting the best version of the game for that platform. And here's more good news. The game is launching at a budget-friendly price of $39.99. It's not a full $70 title, which makes sense since it's a remaster of an older game. Even better, if you're an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriber or PC Game Pass, Gears Reloaded will be available on Game Pass day one at launch, so Game Pass members can jump in as part of their subscription, a great deal. Additionally, Microsoft has announced that anyone who already owns the digital version of Gears of War Ultimate Edition, the 2015 remaster, will get Reloaded as a free upgrade. That's a lovely thank you gesture to the longtime fans on Xbox or PC, rewarding those who purchased the earlier remaster by giving them this new one at no extra cost. Those players will receive a code for Reloaded before launch, so they can download it free. For PlayStation players, since this is the first Gears title on that platform, there's no upgrade program. But there is a physical disc release on PS5 for collectors, and of course, it's on the PS Store digitally. It's worth noting Reloaded won't release on PS5 in Japan due to some platform policy issues, but elsewhere it's full steam ahead. And if you do decide to pre-order the game on any platform, there are a couple of bonuses. Pre-ordering gets you 2 exclusive character skins, Adam Phoenix and Anya Stroud, for use in multiplayer. Pre-ordering also granted access to that June multiplayer beta we mentioned, but since that has passed, the main draw now are those character skins.
To sum it all up, Gears of War Reloaded is shaping up to be the ultimate way to experience the game that started this legendary franchise. It preserves the classic Gears 1 experience, the story, the cover shooter gameplay, the co-op camaraderie, while layering on modern graphics, performance and features to meet today's standards. We're getting gorgeous visuals, smoother gameplay, no load times, and all the content rolled in. On top of that, the game is breaking new ground by coming to PlayStation and enabling full cross-play and cross-progression for a united player base. Whether you're a veteran gear who's ready to chainsaw through the Locust Horde again in 4K glory, or a newcomer who's about to experience the COG versus Locust war for the very first time, Reloaded offers something for everyone. The early impressions from the beta and trailers have been very positive, with many praising how the remake feels true to the original but looks better than ever. As Gears approaches its 20th anniversary, Reloaded is both a nostalgic trip and a fresh start, a chance for old fans to relive a classic and for new players to jump into the series at its best. Mark your calendars for August 26, 2025. We're only weeks away from reuniting with Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago on the battlefield. I, for one, cannot wait to dive back into the fight on day one. So that's what we know so far about Gears of War Reloaded. If you found this overview helpful and you're as excited as I am, be sure to hit that like button. Are you planning to play Reloaded on Xbox, PC or PlayStation? Let me know in the comments which feature you're most hyped for. The 4K graphics, the crossplay, or just experiencing Gears for the first time on a new platform. As always, stay tuned for more updates on all things gaming. Gear up gamers and get ready to rev that chainsaw once more. This is Cloudy Games and I'll catch you in the next video.